Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and if you've spotted the registration number in the background, you'll see that we've got Project Dickie back. We haven't gone back in time, Project Dickie is back. We have a problem that I have never ever come across before. I've never heard about it, I've never come across it. I really don't know what's causing it. There are a number of things it can be, and I need to try and figure it out today. I went yesterday, I dropped off Project Pearl outside the lady's house, and I brought the car back last night, and I'm hoping that I can sort it out today and it's not going to be anything too bad. I'm just going to move the car into the middle of the drive so we can get around it properly, and then I'll explain to you what the issue is. Not good. Okay, so let me explain what the problem is. So about a week after she had the car, she's only had the car a month, between 3 and 4 weeks, something like that. A week after she got the car, her mum messaged me and said, there's something wrong with the car, we can't get it to lock. And said that when you lock it, the lights are flashing twice, the indicators are flashing twice. Now, I mistakenly said to her at the time, oh, that means there's a door open, that's why it's not locking. I said, make sure the doors are closed and try again. Never heard back from her. So I thought, oh, that's obviously what it was. And then I discovered, by accident, that actually when it flashes twice, so it flashes, I think I got this the right way around, it flashes once when you lock it and twice when you unlock it. So when she's locking it, it's doing the unlock flash and the car is unlocking. You can hear it lock and then it immediately unlocks. When you've got a door left open, it's 8 flashes, which I will demonstrate in a minute. Actually, I won't do it now, I'll demonstrate in a minute. But so she messaged me again last week and said, there's definitely something wrong, it just won't lock. So I showed her, I did a little quick video and sent it to her of how to lock the car, you know, manually using the handles. Because I said to her, does it work with the key? And she said no, and I thought, when I've said to her, does it work with the key, I wonder if she meant, I thought with the remote control, which is obviously, you know, the normal way. But I tried it last night and it doesn't. So what it's doing is, and it doesn't do it all the time. So it'll unlock fine, so it's unlocked at the moment, but if I press the unlock button, it flashes twice and it unlocks. If I press the lock button, now this may work, but it probably won't. If I press the lock button, don't think that did it. Did that flash once or twice? I didn't notice. Yeah, see, it hasn't locked. So what, if you can hear it, I'm going to point the camera down there and hopefully the mic will pick this up. So when you lock it, you'll hear it click to lock and then you'll hear it click again when it unlocks. Hear that? Yeah, I'm sure you can pick that up. Now, when I got around there last night to pick it up, you know, I wasn't disbelieving of what she was telling me, but I just wanted to see it for myself. So what I did was, I got the keys from her, I went out, I unlocked it, I locked it again, it worked. Did it a few more times, it worked. And then it stopped working. And then at some point, when I was pressing the buttons, it wasn't doing anything. So yeah, so that's two for unlock. Should be 1 for lock, but it's doing, is it doing 2? No, it's only doing 1. That's strange, it was doing 2. But it's not locking, so you can hear it lock and then immediately unlock. And then what I did, it stopped working. So I was then doing it with the remote and the remote wasn't actually doing anything at all. But if you put, so when it's not locking properly, let's say your battery's gone in your remote control and you can't lock the car. You put your key in the lock and you turn it. When I do that, it's not doing anything. You can't hear anything. It's not even trying to lock it. What's that all about? So that should lock it electronically, but using the key. So it activates the solenoid, and which then locks the car, and it's not doing that either. Now, what I then did was I opened the boot. I know what you're all thinking. I opened the boot. I then shut the boot, and then it worked. It's not working now. So as I say, stay with me, I know what you're all thinking. I haven't yet tried disconnecting the battery. So, although I did tell her to do that at the time, disconnect the battery for 10 minutes, reconnect it, see what happens. Didn't make any difference. But when you turn the key in the door lock, that activates the electronic locking. And that's not doing anything. There's no electronic turn, you can't hear anything when it turns. And it's not locking. If the battery's disconnected so there's no power, and you do that, it should mechanically lock it. It should just automatically mechanically lock it using the rod. Now, initially I thought, before I knew, all this in great detail, I thought one of the rods has come off. However, when you're driving the car along, it's set up, as you know, there's a function on here, the anti-car carjacking lock. So when you get to a certain speed, 10 mile an hour or whatever it is, the doors lock. It's doing that, and that's working. So I am at a complete loss as to what this could be. Now, there could be several things. It could be that is randomly sending a unlock signal as well as a lock signal, or sometimes just an unlock signal, which would explain, although it's not doing it at the moment. It was flashing twice and it's not now, but it's just not locking. So it could be the remote she's put a posh case on it. I said, it hasn't started since you put that case on it. She said, no. She said, and I've taken it out of the case, and it was doing it before we got the case, and I've taken it out of the case, and it still does the same thing. So I thought maybe the connections on the buttons, maybe there's something wrong with those. So I am going to take it apart and give it a clean, and potentially I'll get Roy the locksmith to come and cut a new key if necessary. Cut and program a new key if I can't get to the bottom of it in another way. The other thing it could be is, which I'm really hoping not, which would be the worst case scenario, is it's a body control module. Something wrong with that. Let's hope not. Other thing it could be is the actual one of the actuators on one of the doors, probably the driver's door, but it could be the other door as well, potentially. So it could be one of those just not working. I've never had one break, but they do break. The other thing, of course, it could be, well, two other things it could be, I think. One, it could be the hatch lock, and I have got a spare one because today I've got someone coming round that I'm fitting a new one for them. So it could be the hatch lock. The other thing it could be, potentially, of course, is the hatch wiring. So because it's not manually locking, but it has now. No, it's locking and unlocking again, so it is doing it again now, where it wasn't before. Bizarre, isn't it? I'm going to disconnect the battery and try it again and see if it mechanically locks. But because it wasn't doing that, although it is now, could it be the actuator? So it is intermittent, and the way and the symptoms that are happening are intermittent and change. So if I try, let me try. See, now I'm pressing the lock button, the unlock button, and it's not doing anything. Look, not doing anything at all. And now I'm pressing the unlock button, it's not doing anything at all. How weird is that? And then all of a sudden it will start working again. I'm going to change the battery in this. I don't think it's going to be anything to do with the battery, but I am going to change it anyway. Now it's unlocked. Close it. Pressing the button again, not doing anything. Weird. Let's try opening the boot again. I have never ever experienced anything like this. This behaves properly, that works, this works. But it could be potentially be this, although it appears to be working fine as it should. Shut it. Now it's working again, but it's not locking it. It's doing that double. So it could be that. As I say, I have got one. It's a 10-minute job to change that, so I might actually do that. While I'm at it, I think I might film a video for how to change a hatch handle. Why not? I'm sure people out there want to know how to do that. So that's where we are. That's the problem, and I have got to try and get to the bottom of it today. And I know you're all shouting at me, giving me suggestions, and unfortunately I can't hear you because we can't time travel. So you'll see this video tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, this will be Wednesday's video, and I'm hoping by the end of this I'll get to the bottom of it. If I don't, the only thing I can think is to call Roy the locksmith, take it back to them and say, call Roy the locksmith and I'll get a new key done and see if that solves it. But I'm going to change the battery first and give it a try, and then we'll go around the car and we'll try various things. I'll get the door cards off. I'll get that. Have a look in there. Have a look at the rods. Loosen some screws. You know, sometimes if there's too much tension, it will stop the door from locking. Don't think it's that. It's just strange that it's random. Makes me think it's more electronic. Now, I think potentially what the first thing I might try. I don't want to go cutting the wiring really, cutting the gaiter around the hatch wiring yet, until I can narrow it down a bit further, that it might be that. Although, you know, in theory that really should be the first thing I check, I suppose. But I think I might do that first, just change that hand, just because I've got one and I can change it and try it and see what happens after I've changed the battery. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back. As I say, I'm going to do a separate video of that, so I won't film me taking that off, because I'm going to do a separate video on how to change a hatch handle. Yeah, I'll come back once I've got it off and we'll have a look at it, put the new one on and try it again. So I'll see you in a minute, and fingers crossed we can get this to work today. Right, I've changed the battery, I've taken it out of that case, I've changed the battery, didn't make any difference, so I've unplugged the battery, and so as this should work mechanically, like that, it's not working. Let me just demonstrate that on one of the other cars. So when you put the key in the door and you turn it, it unlocks. You can hear the noise. You can hear it electronically and mechanically lock the car. So that's how it should be. So based on that, so that's with no power connected. So there's nothing electronic going on, which to my mind points to that. Something mechanically wrong in there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it off, look at the rods. I don't see how the rods can be anything to do with it, the fact that it's random. So it could be something to do with electronics. Bizarre, isn't it? I bet you're all shouting at me, don't know what it is, it's this, it's that. I think that's that. I was going to do the hatch handle first, try that first, but I think I'm going to do this first. And I've probably got a spare lock. So the lock bit that goes onto the door with the cable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it in different stages. I'm going to take the door card off, so that releases the handle bit, the cable off of the handle, and then try it. See what happens then. So I'll reconnect the battery and we'll try that. So I'll be back once I've got the door card off. Right. So door card's off. I haven't tried this, so that's. Someone's been in here before, obviously, you know, chances are it's had a new door handle at some point. So that, I mean, that's a bit bent. But, I mean, I haven't looked in the hole yet, but nothing looks untoward as such. I mean, that normally comes out, where does that normally come out? It normally comes out here, doesn't it? Is it here? Can't think. Right, let's try it. Right, so it's unlocked, so, oh my God, it's locking. It's working. So, twice for unlock, once for lock. Oh my God, it's working. So what can it be? What can it be? What on earth can it be? That? Is it on too tight? Because what I said to the lady before is what I've had before when I've put new door handles on before. When I always say this, if I film myself putting a new door handle on, I always say, don't do that up too tight. That, you can't see it. That nut. Don't do that nut up too tight, and don't do that Torx up too tight. Because if you do that, that puts tension on the rods, and sometimes the handle will sit out like that. It won't go back properly. And sometimes it just will stop the door from locking. I have had that before, and I've had to take it all apart, loosen it off, and then it's been fine. Now, it's just interesting that it's now okay, it's now working. So, it's got to be something to do with that, hasn't it? So do I change that, or do I just try putting it back on? I need to have a look in there at the rods. Obviously, I can't get you in there, obviously, but I suppose I could get you in there with my phone. Yeah, let me get a torch out. I'll peel this back a little bit, a bit more. Actually, I might be able to just peel this bit back and get in there and have a proper look. I'll get a light in there, and what I'll do is I'll leave my microphone on and the camera running, but I'll use my phone, and then we can, you know, be like a bit of a voiceover type thing. Yeah, we'll do that, and I'll show you what's in there. Obviously, you know what's in there, but we'll see together whether there's anything looking a bit iffy. Before I do that, look, you've got that little clip there, that normally goes in there, but it doesn't come up like that. So what the hell? You can't put the thing on the wrong way round, can you? What on earth? I'm going to see if I've got one of these. I think I'm going to change. I don't know what they've done. Let me get the camera in there. So you can see the rods on the lock. You can see where they connect to the lock at the bottom. A bit out of focus, unfortunately, but nothing looks untoward in there. Everything looks connected properly, which it is, of course, because it's now working. It's just this. It's like this is in the wrong place. I'm going to take the other door off, the other door card off, and have a look at that one and compare them, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but that is meant to go in there, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't run up like that. So that's the dodgy one, which I've just put in there. So it comes down at the bottom. If we go around to this side, as I remembered, it's at the top. So what have they done? Have they used, I don't know what they've done. They can't put it on upside down. Have they put a passenger side one on the driver's side? But how is that going to be differ? That is absolutely bizarre. So it's in completely the wrong place. That's going to be what's causing it. So I need to get this out, have a look at it, and figure out what the hell's going wrong. I'm going to have a look, see if I've got one. If not, I'll take one off the other car. I might have to take the handle out as well. I don't think I need to get the handle out. I might need to take the guide rail out for the glass, possibly, to get it out. But we'll sort it out anyway. I'll get it out. So to get it out, all you do is you undo those 3 Torx bolts. It then comes loose. You've got to obviously release the 2 rods on the bottom that connect to the lock from the handle, and then take the electrical connection, and then it will just pull out. As I say, I may need to get that guide rail out, the window guide rail out. But it is a bit of a relief, because I've clearly identified what the problem is. So it is a tension problem, although strangely intermittent. Right, so I've got this one off. I've got this one out. So this is the driver's side one, and that is the way around it goes. With the cable at the bottom. This is getting weirder and weirder. Maybe it's just faulty. Maybe I'm imagining things. Maybe it's not supposed to be like that. I should really get the driver's side one out on the other car. I might even do that. But yeah, so if it was up... Oh, hang on a minute, no. Hang on, is this driver's side? Because the bolts are around that way. You've got 2 bolts at the top, 1 at the bottom, if you see there. Does it go that way around? I can't think. Let me look in here again. So they're on the nearest to the door. Yeah, which is right. Oh no, so that is at the top. So I'm wondering whether they've put the wrong side in. And I don't know what they've done. Let's get it out and have a look. This is really weird. Let's get it out and have a look. Right, I've got the old one off. And it does appear to be correct. So when that's in, as you can see, that's the right way up. Like that. Goes in there. And the cable is at the top. So I'm now wondering whether the only reason it wasn't working, because when I took it off, this is the new one on, obviously, it was just on there like that. It wasn't in there. So I wonder if the only reason it wasn't working is because of that. Because it wasn't in there. Could have been, I suppose. Now, as far as I know, this is a good working one. I took this off of a door that I bought. I've swapped one of the little pins which wasn't on the things that hold the rod in, one of the rods in. I've just got to put the guide rail back on, which is just sitting inside the door. and then we'll try it again without this connected, and then I think what we'll do is we'll put it on and we'll try it, see what happens. So maybe that was all it was. Maybe I didn't need to change that lock, so I won't throw that lock. This cable is a bit bent where it was welled up and held with the cable tie, because I think I probably got it on eBay to sell, but there's probably nothing wrong with it. It may well have only been that, potentially, but we won't know until we try. So right, I'm going to get that guide rail on, and then we'll try and lock it, see what happens. I think everything's on now. The guide rail's back on. Let's close the door. Let's close the other door. Yeah, it's working. And can we lock it with a key? Oh, it's already locked, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. So that's working. Okay. Right, now what we need to do is put the door card all back on. It might have been that, you know. It might well have been that, or maybe there is something wrong with that lock. I'll keep that lock, but I'll just put a little bit of tape around it and say potentially faulty. So if I ever need one, and I can try it and see if it works. But I'm now thinking that's all it was, which is good. But I had to change it just to satisfy myself. Right, I'm going to get the door card back on, get it all buttoned back up. I'm going to test, make sure the electric window goes down properly, because obviously I've had that guide off. I want to make sure I haven't, you know, well, you can't really misalign it, but just want to double check before I put it all back together. Right, I'll be back once I've got the door card on, and we'll try it again together. Right, quick update. So I put the door card on. I can't remember if I filmed it now, but I put the door card on, and it went back to how it was. That's with the new lock on. So what I've done is I've put the old lock back on. I thought, did I have the runner? Was that catching the wire so the wire wasn't releasing properly? Because the handle felt stiff. This handle, interior handle, felt really stiff, and you pull it out and it doesn't return. So there was quite clearly tension that was causing it to lock and then unlock. So I put the original one back in, put it in the clip in the right place, put the door card back on again, same thing. The handle wasn't releasing, so I took it off again, and what I did is I took the handle out, and I did that with the handle. Now this is a passenger side handle. I've actually put the driver's one now in the garage somewhere, but it was quite stiff. So where it joins there, it was quite stiff. So I think it was putting tension on that rod. It's obviously quite a very fine line between, you know, locking and not locking. I put some WD-40 on it and moved it around a bit, and it seemed to free it a little bit, but I had one, thankfully, in the garage, which is always good because you've got lots of spare parts. So I put another one on, which is much, much freer, as it should be. Because what I did is I went to the passenger side one and saw how free that was and could tell the difference. So I think that's going to be it. That's going to be all it was. All this stress, and I think that's all it was. So I'm just going to put it back on again, and then we will come back again, and hopefully that'll be it. Fingers crossed. So it wasn't the lock at all. I mean, it might have been something to do with the fact that that wasn't in there, but the main thing is just that stiff. So probably just some WD-40 would have done it, or a bit of grease or something. But I have WD-40 that one, even though that was free. Just a bit of belt braces really. So fingers crossed, we'll get it back on, and hopefully that'll be it. Right, so we've got the door. I haven't done the door card up. I've just put it in and pushed the press studs home. Let's try it. Yes. Oh, thank God for that. It's fine. That's it. That's all it was. Can you believe it? All that stress of me overthinking what it might have been. Lock, unlock. Fan-bloody-tastic. So, yeah, so possibly taking that bit off and spraying some WD-40 in there might have been enough. Oh, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. Oh, man. Right, let's get the screws back on. I've got to get the other side back on as well, of course. We need to test them together, but I'm sure it will. This was the issue, without a shred of a doubt. So there was nothing wrong with the lock. Thank Christ for that. Right, let me get it all back together, and then we'll come back and we'll sign off for this video. Right, all put back together. Yes. Oh, thank God for that. Oh, man. It's done. Oh, you don't know how pleased I am about that. I can't believe that's all it was. I'm glad that's all it was. It took a little bit of time to figure it out, but It's one of those things, isn't it? Process of elimination with that type of thing. Right, I need to send her a message now. Hopefully she's at home and I can drop it back, because I say I left Project Pearl down there. She actually told me that down there, it's not that far away. It's just near the town where I advertise the cars on the Mums group. And she said apparently on the local Facebook pages, I don't know if that's one of them, but a lot of white Fiat 500s are getting stolen. So she's got a steering lock as well. So yeah, hopefully she won't get it stolen. Yeah, that's it, done. Christ for that, hopefully we won't see this one again. I have had quite a few messages from her. I think I mentioned before that initially she thought that there was bearing noises, which I think is just tyre noise. I've said to her, you know, if it gets worse, gets annoying, let me know and we'll get it done. Again, you know, if it was like that when I sold it, then I will pay for it to be done, a bit like this. In which case I'll get Glenn to do it. I'll buy the parts and Glenn can do it. But I don't think it is. I think it's just tyre noise. Apart from that, it's all good. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Only a short video probably. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but if you have a problem like this, at least that might show you what it is. But what started off as I thought could potentially be a major problem isn't, and it hasn't actually cost me any money, thankfully. But I am going to stick 20 quid in an envelope for some petrol, a bit like I did for someone recently. It was a girl who broke down in the school car park, wasn't it, with the earth strap. So yeah, so that's it. So thanks for watching. As always, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and until Sunday, we'll see you then. So until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.